Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Looks like we're doing Australia. Oh dear. Let's go. This is gonna go so well. Right then, time for round 6 of Broke Boys Tier 3, and it's gonna be the Australian Grand Prix. It's a mystery GP where we spin the wheel of the 12 tracks that are not on the calendar, and it's Australia. So that's lovely. See how these Tier 3s are gonna do around Melbourne. Before we kick off qualifying, let's take a look at the championship standings, because Tolu, our new championship leader, he leads by 3 points over Wardy, and then 6 points over Jesus. So those are the top 3 in the championship, and then Parsifal is a bit further behind. 15 points to be exact. And in the constructors, Ferrari have a bit of an advantage at the top. 18 points in gap to McLaren. Points to Aston Martin and 25 to Williams. Standings look like heading into this round of the season. Got an 18 minutes of qualifying and little to no practice for anyone. So that's going to be something. It's going to be a spectacle for sure. Let's hope in a good way. And we've got Firehawk on track, and he is one of the first ones, but he is new in this tier. He was in tier 4 before this race, driving for Red Bull, but he's been promoted to tier 3. And he is replacing Skullkiller. So Firehawk to Mercedes tier 3, and then Skullkiller to Red Bull tier 4. So we've actually already lost both of the Mercedes drivers that were here at the start of the season in tier 3, Verkunnen and Skullkiller. Both have been moved down to tier 4. Replacing them are Firehawk and Shush Football. Shush Football does have a qualifying ban that he will have to serve. So we'll probably see him retire later. He will start at the back. Dimyak is gonna be the first one to start a lap, and he is on the mediums. It's a very fast track with the changes that they made going into 2023, I believe it was. There we go with Shush Football SC. He will start P19 at worst. Depends if anyone else retires, but the chances of that happening are quite low. Yeah, right on board with Simjak, turning into the chicane, but a bit too late, and runs a bit wide as well. He's got a little bit of a strip stream, but it's a surprise that he didn't invalidate there. Has been an ideal lap so far for the Alpine. Final couple of corners, very difficult with traction. Fortunately, it is dry, so at least that's something. Across the line, first lap time on the board is going to be 1:17.053. As he whoa, that was mega dangerous there by Zimiak. As he cut across turn 1 and then an incredibly unsafe rejoin there into the path of Soul Demon, who almost went into the wall. I'm sure that will be investigated after the session. In the meantime, Tolu has gone fastest with 1:16.5, and his teammates, Twitch Terry, is P3 with a 17.0 as well. Half a second behind. Twitch Terry, by the way, is a full-time driver now for Williams Tier 3. Replacing KR30, I think it was. Parsifal takes a quick trip to the grass on the exit of turn 2. Firerock has invalidated, gets very close to the Red Bull there as Dasher across the line, and Dasher is on provisional pole position on his debut, doing a very good job already with his banker lap on 1:16.5, only 25 thousandths of a second ahead of Tolu, as Parsifal has left for some reason. Pit entry can also be very tricky around here. In the meantime, Kieran up to P3 with a 16.8. And one of the McLarens is already about to start his lap. Parsifal has rejoined Madman up to P8. They're about to start another lap. And here comes Carnotaur across the line into the 1:17s. He goes just ahead of Madman. And behind is Jumpy Painter. Jumpy Painter up to the front row. 8 thousandths of a second behind Dasher, and managed to split Dasher and Tolu with another 1:16.5. And his teammate Lennon's up to P9. Very close in the back end of the top 10. It's also very close between the top 3. Field is a bit more spread out than usual. 8 separating them at the moment. Yeah, look at the two McLarens. And Wardy going into the final corner. Looking nice and tidy. Not a competitive lap time, so he must have experienced something throughout his lap. He might try another lap right now. 1:20 is not gonna make it. His teammate Alpha Ball last week on the podium in Qatar was actually in contention for the win, missing out by less than a second. Both T. Whitey and Jesus. Whitey has been promoted, so won't be racing in Tier 3. Winner of the race last week at Qatar as Alpha Wall across the line and slots into P4. Asa, one of the only 3 drivers yet to set a lap time. He's now attempting to on the softs, so not on the mediums as per usual, and maybe he did try on the mediums, but must have validated as put on the softs. As I had a good Japanese Grand Prix, where we finished second, but the last race wasn't so great. He retired from it. And his teammate Bob is not racing today, but his reserve teammate Dasher is doing an incredible job so far for the Red Bull team. See what he can do across the line. Is it going to be 116? Oh, just about misses out, but good enough for P6. Then we look at Jesus, P3 in the championship. Toto is P3 right now in this session. Jesus across the line, only good enough for P12. Party on another lap. I think he was down by 3 seconds again, so the ideal qualifying session so far for runner-up in the championship at the moment. Is Firehawk gonna be able to set a lap time? It's the only one yet to set a lap time. He is about to do it. Around the final corner. Across the line into the 116.6 and is within a tenth of a second of Dasher. So Firehawk on his debut in Tier 3 already at the front. And it is very close at the front, as it usually is. Kieran has invalidated. Would have been a 16-4, would have been a provisional pole position. Has crossed the line somewhere on his lap as Shark goes up to 7th place. Is Wardy on another lap, but he's just using this qualifying session as a practice session, it seems. Not using any of his ERS. Stuart Sterry to the top with a 165 and makes the top 4 even closer. 400 separating them, and Stuart Sterry on the provisional pole position. 19 thousandths to Dasher, 28 thousandths to Jumpy Painter, and 45 thousandths to Tolu. Incredible scenes. Already has invalidated. Top 7 within 1.5 tenths. Shark starts another lap. We'll have to find just under 2 tenths to gain a position. See what he can do. Seems pretty good so far. Yeah, it is pretty good so far because he's 2.5 tenths up through the first sector alone. So he could enter that top 7 if he finds a bit more time throughout the rest of the lap. The two pretty much flat out, and he loses a lot of time there due to ERS deployment. Only a tenth up on his time. Would it be enough to gain him a position? It's got hardly any ERS left in the battery, deploys everything across the line. Is it going to be an improvement? It is, but not good enough to gain a position, unfortunately. Predator is on a good lap, up to P11 he goes. And we look at Tolu, and Tolu has made a mistake somewhere. And he's making another mistake here on the braking zone of the penultimate corner, goes onto the grass. That's one of the Ferraris pulls into the pit lane. Ooh. And that is Soul Demon on an outlap as well. And he has to back off. But, let's take a look at our championship leader. Attacking the Melbourne circuit. Few hundreds up through sector 1, but that would be enough for a provisional pole position. He's only 400s behind his teammate. And he gains a lot more time, 1.5 tenths up now through the middle sector. Might maximize the speed through the chicane, I think. Still looks pretty good so far. Would it be enough for provisional pole position? Keeps it tight around the final couple of corners across the line. Is it going to be pole position? It is, with a 1:16, 2:45, and gains a lot of in the final sector, 3 tenths in the end. And now the gap to his teammate is over 2.5 tenths. We now look at Firehawk on a lap. Can he find any time? He sure can find any time. 2.5 tenths up through the first sector. That's a massive improvement already. Did he use more ERS in the first sector compared to the others? Seemed to be 3 tenths up. Whoa, big slide, and I think he lost a little bit of time with that. Don't think it's going to be quite the pole lap, but let's see if he can put it on the front row. Another moment there. With the back end stepping out. Across the line he goes so fast, a 16.0, what a final sector for Firehawk. With an incredible improvement at the end of his lap, out of absolutely nowhere. He goes on to pole position by almost 2 tenths to Toto, as Twitch Terry has backed off. He is dashed right up in his time, oh, and if he was, well, he would have lost all this time as he hits the grass on the braking zone of the penultimate corner, just like Toto did on his outlap. 1:10 to go. I think that is game over for Dasher. Will be P4 at best, unfortunately. In the meantime, Wardy has jumped up to P6. Lennon's up by 6 tenths. Can he get into the top 10? 40 seconds remain across the line. He does go into the top 10. What a lap. P6. Right behind his teammate. As we now look at Kieran, he's on a good lap. Once again, half a second up. Across the line, and he goes on the Bristol pole position by 1,000th of a second ahead of Firehawk. 1,000th of a second. What a lap. 16.061. Firehawk is not going to improve. Is anyone going to be able to beat that? Twitch Terry is not on a lap either. He's invalidated. Dasher won't improve either. So Jumping Painter is the next competitor, but you'll have to find half a second. As the flag has fallen. We'll look at the two Ferraris, currently P16 and 17, not great for our championship leaders. Sparksfell across the line, only 11th. And then we look at Alpha Hype Wall. He goes up to 7th place, then Jesus, P12. Only as Jumpy Painting does get very close in the end, but not quite close enough. 45 thousandths is the gap between him and Kieran. As Zimniak up to P5, as Dashers come to a halt here in the final sector. Wardy has invalidated, he will be P10. Is Soul Demon on a lap? He is not improving either. So that will be Kieran on pole position by just 1,000th of a second to Firehawk, two debutants in this tier. That's quite impressive. Jumpy Painter in P3, missing out by a few hundredths of a second. Then it's championship leader Tolu, P4, Zimniak P5, and Twitsterry in P6. Dasher in 7th place ahead of Alpha Hype Wall. Lennons and Wardy will start from P10 with his nearest championship rival in P4, but he is ahead of Jesus. We wait for someone, there we go. Here are the final results. Parsifal 11th ahead of Jesus, so the two Ferraris 11 and 12. Shark 13, Josh Bushman P14, then it's Hasa 15, Madman 16, Carnotaur, Soul Demon 17 and 18, and Shush Football with his qualifying ban will start at the back of the grid, P19. Oh, let's prepare then for the race. So, what is the strategy around here? I'm not sure. It's been a while since I raced around Australia. Guessing mediums and hards, the usual. At the moment, almost everyone is on medium. From Soul Demon and Hasa. In around 1 minute time, we will find out how these drivers face the Albert Park Street Circuit. At least it's dry for the race as well. Sunny skies. Anyway, here we go then. It's time for the Mystery Grand Prix at Melbourne. 5 red lights, Kieran on pole position with Firehawk alongside. And it is lights out, and Kieran has a good start, but Firehawk has an even better start, and he's already up the inside going into turn 1. And the Mercedes takes the lead into turn 1. Firehawk leads, but Kieran with the switchback on the exit will turn it to the outside line and has to slot in behind. So Firehawk on his debut leads this race. At the end of sector 1 goes a little bit wide, but is able to stay in front of the Haas. As Wardy has had a moment, he is dropped to the back already. That's not an ideal start for our number 2 in the championship. Top 3 very close to each other. Jumpy Painter is right behind Kieran, and we've got a yellow flag once again. This time it's Lennon's in the Aston Martin. Has he gone off as well on lap 1. He moved the inside, Dasher and Alpha Bonnet. Somehow they don't end up in the barrier. Let's take a look at the tires. So everyone on the mediums except for Soldi and Hazard, they are both on the hards, as Firehawk goes a little bit wide and probably has picked up his first warning there. But he will lead at the end of lap 1. Is that whose Terry has gone off? He's going into the pit lane and he's got front wing damage as well. It's not been a great start for the Williams driver. Qualified well, but has picked up damage somewhere on this lap. And we'll have to get that replaced. Lennon's into the pit lane as well. Already see DRS train forming from P1 to P8, and it's a bit of a gap between the two Ferraris, Parzival and Jesus, 1.3 in between the two of them. DRS of course enabled on lap 2. But Firehawk has enough of a lead to withstand an attack from behind. As the majority of the field has made it through the first 2 laps. Oh, Firehawk runs a little bit wide, going into the penultimate corner onto the grass, and that will affect his exit onto the main straight, and Kieran will have the DRS. But he's going to stay behind for now, as Jumpy Painter sets the fastest lap of the race. Firehawk under pressure, oh, and Kieran goes wide onto the curb on the exit, and Jumpy Painter says thank you very much, and he goes up to second place. So the pressure is already high at the beginning of this race. Kieran drops a little bit behind as well. He has now got Tolo for company. And then it's Zimniak 1.1 seconds behind, not quite within the DRS range. Which is crucial around this track, by the way, with 4 DRS zones. As we look at Jumpy Painter, having a look at Firehawk round the outside of the chicane, surely not wheel to wheel we go. And what a move that is from Jumpy Painter round the outside. Clean, without too much contact. And Jumpy Painter takes the lead of this race on lap 3 with quite a daring move, I must say, in the opening stage of this race, but fair enough. He's made it stick. Was a bit of a moment in the final corner. Now Firehawk will be all over his back. Aston Martin goes a bit wide. Oh, and that's contact between the two as Josh Wheels got a 10-second penalty for corner cutting and gaining a place. That's impressive, but we've got Firehawk up the inside. Oh, bit of contact, more contact, and Firehawk keeps it pointing in the right direction. Not sure what's going on to the Mercedes of Shot Football. Firehawk almost binning it straight into the wall there. Have to be careful into the background, someone into the wall, that is Alpha Wall has spun. Or did he get assisted there, but he's gone into the wall and he's stuck now on the grass. You can use a reset the track if you are stuck. Trying to get away. There we go. That's that is allowed in this particular case, but that's well, worst case scenario for McLaren, as we've got Wardy in P16 and Alpha Paul P17, both of them having moments in the early stages of this race. Meanwhile, Jumpy Painter has quite a comfortable lead at the front, 7.5 tenths, but that gap is going to come down with the DRS assistance of the cars behind. Got 5 cars within contention here, and you've already got Zimniak and Kieran with a penalty, and that is Toto having a look up the inside of the Haas. Kieran runs a little bit wide, and speaking of running wide, Jumpy Painter running extremely wide into turn 4, and Firehawk has gained the position and he's back into the lead of this race. It's all kicking off at the front end here around Australia. Alpha wall into the pit lane, he got front wing damage after that incident. Jumpy Painter stays behind this time around. A 5-way fight for the win, 5 different teams. Actually, we've got 7 different teams in the top 7 and 9 different teams inside the top 10. That's quite unusual, but you'll have to see it. And Toto into turn 1 has got past Jumpy Painter and he's up into 2nd place. Will the Aston Martin try to re-overtake, or is she under pressure from Kieran? Kieran up the inside. Oh, bit of contact. Oh, Toto has been spun around by the Haas of Kieran. You could see that coming from miles away as he sent it up the inside of the Aston Martin and broke just a little bit too late, tapping the rear right tyre of the Williams. Gets another 3-second penalty, by the way, and Toto has dropped down to P7 because of that. And now got Zimniak onto the podium places. It's as chaotic as you would expect from Tier 3, especially around a track that nobody could have really practiced for. Unless they practice all 12 possible tracks. Soul Demon has retired from the session. Is that going to be a safety car? It's going to be a safety car as Jumpy Painter takes the lead of this race just in time. It's an odd place to crash, by the way. Soul Demon on the back straight, on the run through the fast chicane. So he either got helped with it or it's an intentional crash out, I'm not sure. But that is gonna be our first safety car of the day. It really couldn't have come at a better time for Jumpy Painter, just about, as he overtook Firehawk there. Got quite a few drivers coming into the pit lane. Madman, Shark, Just Football, Wardy, Just Boschman, Jesus. All fitting on a new set of hearts. The top 9 has stayed out. All the mediums except for Haza. Lap 7 of 29. Kieran already apologizing to for that incident. Yeah. Unfortunate moment this race. We've got the first 8 drivers on mediums and the last 10 drivers on hards. It certainly has thrown this race onto its head. So are you going to be able to make it to the end on hards from lap 7? 22 laps, it is a very long distance, but I doubt that this will be the last neutralization in this race. Given the chaos we've already seen so far. We wait for Tootsterry to close the gap. He's 20 seconds still behind. He might be able to close it before the end of the lap. Might be able to restart at the end of lap 8. Will be tight though. Hearts can make it to the end. Well, that is certainly going to spice things up. So we shall see. I'm not sure what the pit window is for the mediums. Can't be too far away, probably around lap 13, 12. 14 for the hearts. Is Tootsterry gonna close it, or are we gonna do another lap? I think we're gonna do another lap. No, we are not doing another lap. The safety car comes into this lap. It's a very late call there by the race officials, but there we go then. And Jumpy Painter can decide the pace as Zimniak has been given a 10-second time penalty for severe collision with Firehawk. So that's lovely. Here we go then, back on the restart. 21 laps to go, and Jumpy Painter leads ahead of Firehawk, and then we've got a battle already on our hands. Kieran and Zimniak, and Parzival going at it. Zimniak has lost out to not only Kieran but now Parzival as well. Oh, that's a big send for the Williams of Toto into the side of Dasher, losing a couple of positions in the process. Down to P9 for a championship leader. Yeah, this can only go well for so long, as the top 2 have run away from everyone else. 2 seconds is the gap to Kieran. There we go with Zimniak. Around the outside, are we going to go wheel to wheel into this chicane. Seems like we do, and Zimniak around the outside goes very wide, and that's Kieran with the switchback. Nice move, and he's back up into P3, but all this battling is not going to help them out. It's almost 3 best in the background. The Red Bulls and the Ferrari 3 wide. We go shortly, not, and that does not go well. Well, that's not a surprise, is it? As Haase has been spun around because of it. Dasher is all out of shape. And now wheel to wheel with Parzival. Into the pit lane goes Kieran. For some reason, DRS has been enabled once more. As Carnotaur is one of the few clever drivers in this field, as he lets Jesus go instead of going wheel to wheel into turn 1. But he's gonna get attacked now by Wardy, and then assassination there from Shark, who almost takes out the Sauber and the Haas, and maybe even more. We've got a yellow flag. Is that Alpha Ball once again? I fear it is, and he's not the only one, because Zimniak has gone off. Where is Zimniak going? He has done a George Russell there. He's lost it completely, and he's tumbling down the order, down to P17 with front wing damage as well. As Dasher goes around the outside, up into the podium places. 4.5 seconds though is the gap to Jumpy Painter and Firehawk. Oh, it's not a one, and Wardy has spun it. Wardy lead 2 in the championship when he's gone off at the exit of the quick left-right chicane. The pit window is lap 13, but yeah, with the safety car can stretch it a bit. So it might be an advantage then for the ones who pitted for Harts. We'll see at the end of the race. So they keep fighting out here, man, and we're only on lap 11 still. Such a long way to go. Fighting it out like it's the last lap. Oh, Firehawk with a 3-second penalty. That will hurt his chances if Jumpy Painter manages to keep it clean. And Jumpy Painter up the inside of Firehawk. Oh, contact between the two. Well, Firehawk on the braking has been, well, pushed a little bit onto the grass, which has sent the rear spinning around. Fortunately enough, the gap was that big to the cars behind that didn't lose too much. And he also pulled straight into the pit lane. An early pit stop. Toto into the pit lane as well. See Madman overtaking the Sauber of Carnotaur. That was a bit of a controversial moment there between Jumpy Painter and Firehawk. Four seconds is the gap at the front. And Firehawk has come out in P16. He's got a lot of ground to make up. As Just Football FC, by the way, started in P19, and he is in P5 right now, as Jesus goes wheel to wheel with his teammate. The two Ferraris going at it. Spartval is able to stay in front, losing another second there to Jumpy Painter. And that is Dasher and Parzival into the pit lane on lap 13. Whoa, keep out. Dasher into the back of the Ferrari. Fortunately, no damage. And no speeding penalties. Yeah, come out right in one another. Also in the pit lane is Carnotaur. So Jesus is our virtual race leader. Only Jumpy Painter and Haza are yet to pit. And Haza started on the hards. So we're looking at the fight for the net race leader. Jesus, Madman, and Just Football SC, who started last, and he's fighting for the race win. That's quite impressive. Are we gonna see the Aston Martin diving into the pit lane? Yes, we are. Jumpy Painter at the end of lap 13. He's gonna make his pit stop as Madman has had a moment. Drop down to P5 behind the Mercedes, and Shark. Ooh, big moment for Josh Boschman coming on to the main straight. Completely losing the back end of the car. Losing all sorts of positions. Down to P9. Jumpy Painter, where does he come out? P12, is he ahead of Firehawk? That's the question. Firehawk sets a fast lap off the race, and Firehawk with the undercut there. He was around 2-3 seconds behind, but he pitted 2 laps earlier. And Firehawk is back ahead of Jumpy Painter. And, well, he gets another 3-second penalty. But still halfway of this race to go. Ooh, Linens and Alpha ball bit of contact, and the Aston Martin losing out 2 positions. And that is Jesus and Just Football going at it for the race lead. Jesus holding it round the outside, and he now slots behind the Mercedes. As Just Football from last on the grid is into the lead on lap 14, as Carnator has had a moment. He has spun on fresh hards, by the way, so not entirely onto temperature yet. And Just Football, he's got a 3-second penalty, so he did serve his 10-second penalty. All sorts of penalties are being applied here. Wow. 3-4 drivers getting a penalty at the exact same time. Yesterday, tier 2, it was Imola, and every single driver got a penalty in that race, apart from 1 driver. And the majority got multiple penalties as well. At the moment it's no different here in tier 3 around Australia. Only 7 drivers without a penalty. Alpha ball round the outside of Josh Boschman. And the McLaren up to P7. And Alpha ball, who spun into the wall early on in this race, is back in a good position, must be said. His tires are a bit older than the rest of them, as we got Jumpy Painter and Firewalk going at it once again in this race, wheel to wheel. Oh, and they go onto the gravel, both of them, as neither of them backs out. And this is losing them a lot of time. As Kieran, a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and he has retired from this race, 2nd DNF. It's absolutely crazy to think that Just Football is pulling off a last to first right now. And if Jesus and Shark get a penalty, he might actually be in contention for the race winner. Oh, is that someone going off? It is, towards Terry. Almost lost it there, as we got Jesus going for the lead up the inside. Gonna go wheel to wheel into this corner again, it's Just Football a long way around the outside. Managed to hold on to that race lead just a little longer. So we've got 13 laps to go. Asa pulls into the pit lane, he was the only one yet to pit. So probably waiting for a safety car there. Started on the hards, 17 laps. He's put on a set of mediums to the end. Yellow flags are out once again. Oh, and it's Dasher. Dasher has gone off. All of our front runners in qualifying have had issues so far in this race. Just look at the top four. Just Football leading from P19, Jesus in P2 from P12, Shark in P3 from P13, and Madman in P4 from P16. It's absolutely mental as Shark runs a little bit into the back there of Jesus. He's pulled to the inside, and we're gonna go 3 wide there. Oh, Shark, no, into the wall, man. Just back out of it. Just back out of it. Such a big risk, and it does not pay off. That was his chance for a podium, a potential race win. Went onto the grass. That's painful to see. Something damaged as well. Pulls into the pit lane. "12 laps to go." And it's just about a 4-way fight now. But Jesus is the only one without a penalty, and he is going to go for the lead. Right now, he will have the DRS on the inside. And he gets past the Mercedes, and Jesus takes the lead on lap 18. Our reigning world champion is leading a race again. Oof, watch out there, Firehawk. Yeah, he gets past Lennon's now in an Aston Martin sandwich. And we painter P7. What is going to be possible for him? Towards Terry into the pit lane. He's only done 12 laps on these hards. But he doesn't think he can make it to the end. From a podium position. And he puts on a set of mediums. Lennon's into the pit lane as well. Onto softs. Which Shark has gone onto as well. It's become a 2-horse fight now, and Jesus is going to get re-overtaken as Just Football retakes the lead. 1 lap later. Meanwhile, Jumpy Painter is back into P5. Firehawk is looking to get past the McLaren as well, but has to be a little bit more patient. Someone's gone off. Who is that? That is Madman has gone off into the gravel. And he drops behind the Aston Martin as that is Firehawk up the inside. And he gets past Alpha Ball up to B6. Josh Boschman, by the way, is in a podium position. Question is, will he bottle it? Atman into the pit lane. Firehawk back into the top 5. And here we go up the inside, Jumpy Painter, and he's back into a podium position. He's got past the kick-sauber of Josh Boschman. He can now try and chase after the top 2, it's 4.5 seconds. Firehawk gets yet another penalty. Toto has been a bit invisible since his incident early on in the race, and he's running a P7, not within a DRS range. Jesus can gain a lot on him today. as he's currently on course to win this race with 9 laps to go. And Jesus is gonna get past Just Football, and most importantly, Jumpy Painter's got a 3-second time penalty, and that is gonna ruin his chances of winning this race, if he had any of those chances. The gap has shrunk by another second, 3.2 it is, but as long as Jesus keeps it within the white lines, I'm confident he is gonna be able to win this race. Because Jumpy Painter's certainly not gonna be able to drive away by 3 seconds. If he manages to catch them, would be very impressive. Around a track where DRS is very powerful. And Mercedes is looking at a very good result today. They are 8th in the Constructors' Championship. Actually jumped up from 10th after last week, so they are slowly but surely charging to the front. And they will pick up a lot of points if they finish like this. 2 and P4 at the moment. Bit of a slide there by Haase. Trying to go back into the pit lane. And all Just Football FC has to hope for is that Jesus gets a 3-second time penalty. That would be his only chance of winning this race. In the meantime, Jumpy Peter is dragging himself and Firehawk towards the top 2. It might become a 4-way fight at the end of this race. Currently have 7 laps to go. Going on to lap 23. And Just Football has retaken the lead. He's got past Jesus, but has a bit of a poor exit. Now the gap to Jumpy Painter is only 1.2. Not quite gonna be within the DRS range just yet. Completely abusing the track limits there. As we see Jesus back ahead of the Mercedes. And Jumpy Painter now is within the DRS range. 6 laps to go. 4 drivers fighting it out, with only one can really win it. The driver in P1, Jesus, our reigning world champion. And that's Jumpy Painter quite easily getting past the Mercedes of Just Football FC. Not sure what that was about. Jumpy Painter into P2, that is. Gonna try and chase after Jesus, and then I don't think he's gonna be able to drive away if he overtakes Jesus. Building a gap is quite difficult on this track. We are gonna see a change of lead though. Jumpy Painter pulls to the outside, and he is gonna retake the lead on lap 24 of 29. And now all he has to do is build a 3-second gap. First of all, having a look at Wardy. P1 and 2 in the championship, currently running in P7 and 8. As the Mercedes drivers have fallen out of DRS. 1.1 between Jesus and Shush Football FC. Barty and Parzival wheel to wheel. Parzival round the outside. That's a nice move, and he's get ahead of the McLaren. As Firehawk has got yet another time penalty. I think he's got around 12 now. Yes, that is going to lose him a lot of time and quite a few positions at the end of the race, as he does get ahead of his teammate. Alpine Ball gets ahead of Josh Bushman. Garneter retires from the session, and Alpine Ball is looking at a P4 right now. So he does have to stay ahead of Josh Bushman and Tolu. Jesus still within half a second of Jumpy Painter. 4 laps to go. Yes, the Sauber comes out of the pit lane quite awkwardly there, ahead of Shush Football. Alpha Wall, 3.5 behind the Mercedes, who's got 3 seconds. Can he close the gap to under 3 seconds? Could be on the podium. Might have to work together with the cars behind. Oh, Alpha Ball has had a moment, he's gone off. Lost control. Does he have front wing damage? He does have front wing damage. I'm not sure for how long he has that, but the front left end plate is missing on the McLaren, and now, well, he's not going to finish on the podium. The gap's now 1.5 seconds to Toto and Josh Washman. Are now going to fight it out for P4. It's all about keeping it within the white lines. Just like in qualifying. Firehawk would he will drop to P8 if it finishes like this. As Switch Terry is facing the wrong direction, he's gone off. And into the wall. Does he have front wing damage again? He does. It's an awful day for him in the Williams. Score many points at all, and Tolu has brought the gap down to 2.8 to Shashfupala. Simniak has crashed out. Yes, Zimniak has crashed. He's done a George Russell on the penultimate lap. As Shark is now also facing the wrong direction. What's going on in these final few laps? As Zimniak is out of the race. Just 2 laps to go. And Woods Terry retiring in pit lane. That's unnecessary because he could have scored points if he just pitted for a new front wing. He would have been probably P13. That is Lens putting a nice 360, spinning in turn 1. Driver probably starts to kick in. Oh, he does. He's got a puncture. He's got a puncture. Lennon's on the softs. What has happened there? How long? 9 laps on these softs. And the rear left tire has gone. So that is why he spun then. High drama in the final few laps. That's driving quite fast for someone with a puncture, by the way. In the meantime, we're on to the final lap of this race. That's what you can expect. How did he get a 3-second penalty for that? That's interesting. And yeah. Anyway, Alpha Ball and Partsval going at it. Once again, Partsval ahead of Alpha Ball. We're gonna switch our focus to the front end. Jumpy Painter is our race leader, but Jesus has kept it clean. He's got no track limit penalty. And he's on course to win the Mystery Grand Prix. He won the pre-season race at Zandvoort. Hasn't won any official race this season. But he is gonna change that right now. As we go into the penultimate corner. Jumping Painter is gonna come across the line to win the Australian Grand Prix on track. But Jesus will win round 6 of the season. As he wins the Australian Grand Prix ahead of Jumpy Painter. Then it's Firehawk, but he gets replaced by Shush Football, who gets replaced by Tolu, who manages to finish on the podium. After all of that, then it's Josh Bosman, Shush Football, Alpha Ball, Partsival, Firehawk, and Wardy, who has spun it out of the final corner. Oh, that's gonna cost him severely, and he crashes across the line. B9 Martman, I think, has run out of fuel. Finish P10, Haza 11, Dasher in 12, another great day for Red Bull. Shark in the end will finish P13 out of 14 drivers. Jesus is victorious once again. What a drive from start to finish. Where did he start actually? You think P12 it was, wasn't it? We'll see in a moment time. He took great advantage of the safety car. Took no penalties to win this race. Shush Football SC has been given the drive of today. Fair enough, from last on the grid was fighting for the win. Very impressively. Jesus has risen to the top. Once more here in Tier 3. Been quite a chaotic race once again. But it's to be expected around a track that nobody could have really practiced for. Especially a track like Melbourne. And we get a black screen here, so what a good way to end then, without the race results. Oh, there we go. never mind. We only got the top 14 in a split second. Should be good enough. Anyway, then that's it for tonight. Next week we will be back for round 7 of the season, and it will be for the Spanish Grand Prix. So I will see you then, same time next week. Anyway, that's it then for tonight. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.